yeah, that's the first rule every time.
Arkansas, citizen-led initiatives, once they get on the ballot, can pass with 50% plus one vote. That's the formula, 50% plus.
Osiris,
What's good, brother?
we need the next. Y'all need to go nowhere else.
We all know how it works. People in our community are 5 times more likely to be sent to prison. We can change that by voting for Issue 4. Issue 4 is an initiative to reform Arkansas's drug laws. It will safely legalize cannabis, but only in small amounts, and only for adults over 21. So fewer people end up in jail or with a criminal record for a petty marijuana arrest, because one mistake shouldn't last a lifetime.
Paid for by Responsible Growth Arkansas.
I put money towards something, it goes.
We all know how it works. People in our
In
community.
Arkansas, citizen-led.
It's the Real Underground, man. In the Street Radio special edition, man. Special edition. I know y'all like, it's Monday, man. What is y'all there doing on a Monday, man? What is Osyrus and Nate doing? Nate on the other side of the table, and Osyrus back again. It must be something important, man. Somebody gets shot in the news, or is
A lot of it.
you know what I'm saying? It's something got to be major. Then y'all got dirt up there too. Like, what is going on for y'all to be up here on Monday at 8:52? We had to call a special meeting, man. You know what I'm saying, to let y'all know, to give y'all some important information. Give y'all some important information. First piece of important information is to hit that share button if you tuning in right now. If you hit mine, it only take like a split second, and it's free. It don't cost no money. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't no square, hit that share. But yeah, this is, if you seen the caption, it says important voting information awareness show. You know what I'm saying? So I had to invite somebody that knows what they're talking about to talk about this, because, you know, I'm not that person. I'm just the person that provides the platform. And then I invited Nate because, you know, Nate is part of the Real Underground. And I needed a co-host for the night. You feel what I'm saying? Let me make sure we is live. I don't want us to be up here talking for no reason. I'm trying to go hit my share button. If y'all can hear my voice right now, make sure y'all hit the share button. We broadcasting live on the Real Underground radio station, YouTube and Facebook. If y'all just heard the commercial about issue 4, we got an issue 2 commercial been running all week. Tomorrow is November the 8th, the last day to vote. Correct. Y'all might not know that. Y'all see the banner on the screen. It's tomorrow, Tuesday, November 8th is the last day to vote. Some of y'all think that you can't vote because you're felons. Some of y'all don't even know where you can vote because you ain't registered, or can you register? So we finna talk about a couple of things right now. First, we're gonna get those things out of the way. Then we're gonna talk about the issues on the ballot. They got like issue 1, 2, 3, 4, a couple of issues. And then we got some people on the ballot. So I know when I go to vote, I be like, I go in there like for one purpose, and then I see all these other things that I have to vote for, and then I just guess at them. You know what I'm saying? I know I ain't the only person that go in there and, you know what I'm saying, damn, his name Sam Black.
We gotta get you informed. I think it's important.
And his name, he might not even been the right person, even though his name was Black. You feel what I'm saying? Then I'd be like, you know what I'm saying, issue, and then they have him worded so crazy, like, you know what I'm saying, like, damn, for or against, damn, I don't know what to do. So I done went in there and fucked my vote off, because I wasn't informed of what to do, you know what I'm saying? So I said, this is what I need to do. I'm going to have a show. I hate that we are so far close to the deadline. I wish we could do this earlier, but it's been a lot going on in my life. You know what I'm saying? I was sick last week, but, you know, it's better late than never. We still got all tomorrow to go down, make a difference. I don't know if we have enough time for people to get, if they ain't registered, to get registered.
Give them that information.
So let's say somebody ain't read, somebody right now they knew, they saying, hey, you know what, I want to vote. 2 things always come up: I ain't registered, or I'm a felon.
Already.
How does that go?
Well, you know what I'm saying, off top, you know, get registered to vote if you want to get registered, but you won't be able to vote tomorrow. You have to get registered at least 30 days before the election to be able to vote at that next election. So you got to get registered at least a month out. As far as the law in Arkansas, if you're a felon, if you off papers, you done paid all your fees and fines, your probation, all the restitution stuff, you can vote now. So, you know what I'm saying? When somebody tell you that lie saying, oh, you know, you got a felon, you can't vote.
So long as you off paper.
If you off paper, you know what that means. You off papers, then you good to vote. All you got to do is just go register again.
So once you register, how do they go and register? What do they do to go register? Is it like,
I'm gonna tell you this right here. I wish we had online registration, but we don't.
they don't do that?
Nah, they didn't pass it here. They might have it in other states, but not here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you probably don't want to go here, but I say go down to the courthouse.
So why you don't want to go there?
Because I just don't like going to court. You know what I'm saying? I don't like going to the courthouse. I don't like walking in that building. There's bad memories associated with it.
Okay.
But the courthouse on Market, I'm talking about the Pulaski County Courthouse, not the traffic courthouse. And you just go down, say, I'm looking for voter registration. You go up in there, you fill it out, and you hand it right back to them. Other way you do it is you're going to have to mail it, and you're going to have to get that, first class postage. So I'm just trying to get you to do it the way that's easy and simple. Pay a little money to put in the meter so you can park and just go up in there and turn it in all at one time.
So 2 ways. Go down there, do it in person.
Yeah.
I know people ain't going to go want to mail it because you mail it in, what you got to do? Go online and print something out or something?
Yeah. You got to print it out, or you got to you can request it.
They ain't going to do that.
But when you do all that, you still got to get that first class postage. So you got to go ahead and pay for that too.
So if you don't mind, let me interject. For this election, like you said, it is too late.
Yeah.
But what will happen more than likely, we got 18 months before the next election.
Not technically, yeah, but not necessarily.
Well, the next big election in 2024.
Okay.
Am I right?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But and I mean, we're talking about tomorrow, not including tomorrow's election, not including a possible runoff, and not including any special elections. God forbid somebody pass away or get sick. But for the 2024 next election, let's do everything now and start putting it on your mind to get registered. So if you are if you are a felon and you off papers, I mean, you've paid all your fines, served all your time, done all your parole and whatnot. In 18 months, we got 18 months to get you together and make sure you get registered.
But this ain't about presidential elections either. I don't care about that. I ain't pushing none of that because it's puppet stuff going. We talking about local elections. That's why I wanted to call this podcast in order tonight, because this is about local elections. We got some issues on the ballot. We got some local politicians running for office. Even the mayor is running for office. So
that's super important.
Let's talk. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, that's just being real. The state and the local election is the most important. Forget that. At the end of the day, you can talk. I don't even like talking about presidential elections either, because I don't even talk about. I just talk about what else is on there, because that stuff don't. I'm about to cuss, my bad. I don't fool with the electoral college. Okay, man. I don't fuck with the electoral college. It's some bull. You know what I'm saying? Popular vote, people rule. That's what I believe in. And so in every election we have, it's gonna come down to how many people vote. My boy lost by 1 vote. Ryan D. Davis. Everybody saw me out here on this campaign. He literally lost by 1 vote. It's been printed in the paper.
1 vote. One person could have showed up.
And his neighbor walked up to him the next day like, man, how did everything turn out?
Did you vote?
And he asked, did you vote for me? Like, man, I ain't even go.
It's your fault.
It's your fault. I mean, so I'm just saying, like, this is all local matters is what we'll be paying attention to, because these laws affect you more than anything else.
Well, and let me add something to that. And this is something that I want to make sure that we address since we're here. And it's about voter turnout, right?
Yeah.
It is imperative that we get out and vote. If you were to compare the statistics or the voter turnout in a Washington County, in a Saline County, to, let's say, something of a Jefferson County, or even Pulaski County, or better yet, what county is West Helena in? Phillips.
Yeah.
Phillips County. So if you compare those, the numbers in Phillips County compared to the numbers in the Saline County, they're probably equal numbers. There's a drastic, scary difference in our turnout in Phillips County, which is predominantly black, would probably be 10%. That means 10% of the people in Phillips County is voting. You compare that to a Saline County, it's probably 60 to 70. That means 70% is voting. So then these numbers have to start making you think, well, why is Saline County growing in the way that it's growing? Why is Saline County getting the attention that it's getting? Why are the school districts growing and getting the funds that they're getting? Why
I don't
is
think
Phillips-
black people vote. I just don't think black people vote. It's just me for being around black people and being a black person. I don't know
Frustrated with the system.
I don't know motherfuckers who vote.
Yeah.
I know a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I can ask all of them, did you vote? Did you vote? Did you vote? And I don't think 90% of them is going to say yes. They're going to say no, that shit don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And I can see why they're going to say it. But at one point in time, I felt like it didn't matter because I didn't understand about like local, you know what I'm saying? Like tell me some of the politician departments that you feel like is important. Like you got aldermen, mayors. What are some of these people doing? Like my partner is on the city council in El Dorado until he started breaking this stuff down to me. His name is Andre Rux, and he was telling me how like El Dorado population is a majority black, but their whole city council and is white, and he's saying he's in these meetings and he's seeing how money is being delegated and how, you know what I'm saying, these are the people who saying this street gets fixed or this school gets money. So that's how it's affecting shit, you know what I'm saying? Then when I started like, damn, okay, now it makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it's boring. I ain't gonna lie, it's boring. But at the end of the day, you got to have the right people in office to do that, to be our voices. That city council is important, man, because we talk about when that city budget pop out. When you see about $200 million in like a place like Little Rock for a city budget, you be like, dang, that's a lot of money. What are they gonna do with it? If it's gonna go all to West Little Rock, you should be concerned about that type of stuff, man. You know, just right now, you know what I'm saying, we got a plan with the city right now where they supposed to be putting money into 4 places in Little Rock. John Barrow area, 12th Street area, Wright Avenue area, and in Southwest in one of our communities. Okay. And it's millions of dollars that the city just literally sitting on and ain't making no move on it. Why? They waiting for this election.
That's who's going to determine
who the mayor going to be. To see what they're gonna sign off on. I promise. I mean, it was in the paper. Frank Scott literally was like, "Let's go ahead and move this money forward." This about a couple months ago, and they was all like, 8 people of the city directors was like, "No, let's just wait until
you know
after
why?
November."
Because they feel like Frank Scott is gonna lose because Landers has really been out here on this campaign and really has been on niggas' row about vote for me. He been at the parks, at the black events. I'm like
Latinos for Landers.
And the reality of it is I don't get it. Why we fall for the okie doke? Landers, like, what is he gonna do for us?
But we gonna fuck around and fall for it
because we ain't turning out.
And so it's important when we talk about how that city money is budgeted. We can reallocate all the funds and put them in the areas where it's needed to be. But if we don't show up to vote, if we don't get the right people elected in city director, we got 3 city director races. One of them in the John Barrow area, that's Ward 6.
Shout out Andrea Lewis.
One of them is, I want to say Ward 5. It's where Lance Hines is. And then it's another one, but I don't think they're running against somebody.
So the city director would be one of those important roles.
They vote on what the money do. The mayor is the same way. We don't be realizing that it's money in the budget for every time you do a community event. Prime example, D-Dirt. Man, you be throwing parking lot concerts. You probably come out your pocket or use the underground radio station money to do that. The mayor and the city manager can approve up to $50,000 to go to any community event they want to, just between them two. City manager, mayor. The city council don't even got to vote on it. So when you see like a community festival, a lot of times, most of the time, they talk to the mayor. They send a proposal into the mayor and ask for $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, $5,000. It's sitting there only for the city to use on community stuff.
And we didn't know that.
And if you don't do it,
they're gonna give it to who they got favor for.
And then who gonna ask for it? Harvest Fest on Kavanaugh. the Greek festival over there on whatever that is over there in West Little Rock off Bowman, over there in one of them churches. They ask for the city money and they get the city money.
So-
Meantime, we ain't know all that.
I'm just telling
So
you.
who's running for city director right now?
Just what you call it? You got
Or who would you advise? Cause we ain't being biased. We saying who give us some some political advice. Who would Osyrus co-sign or advise? Who Osyrus voting for?
Look, I ain't in Ward 6. I'm from Southwest, so I don't vote. Ken Richardson, the city director out here, he do a pretty good job if you ask me. But I know Ward 6, that's the John Barrow area.
Well, let me add to that, because I know for a fact my boy Marcus Lewis, his wife Andrea Lewis,
She's running for
she's running
city director.
city director now. And I'll say this: if you know me, you know I'm really active in the community, especially in Palm Bluff. Me and Marcus go way back, but I'll say this: Andrea herself, she about that action. She has been on the front line for her community, just for the city, for young folks, from helping them, from working through First Security as a community banker, helping people get bank accounts, things of that nature. So we have an opportunity, and she's going against a lady who's been in position for years and years, and unfortunately, who I've never seen or heard good things about. But Andrea Lewis is where you want to go, the direction you want to go for.
Is it not a place that we can go and like see all of the candidates and
Man,
What-
I wish it was. My organization that I'm with, we working on that next year for Pulaski County, though. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really speak on what other places going to do. But we working on doing voter education information. And the next time we have our elections up, we trying to have a whole even who running for office and what they do.
like
all
their
that type-
background, what they standing for, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we working on that. But that's another thing about it. Like, folks be dependent on you not having no information on them, just other than a name and a
It's
sign.
like the government should they should supply this website.
They don't. All they gonna do is put a sample ballot. That's all they gonna do. That's it. They not gonna give you no information on these people. They gonna let you do your research. And so, like, I fool with people who try to at least research people and tell me about it because make phone calls. But, like, you know what I'm saying? We do need to know more about our candidates. Unfortunately, they just not going to give a whole lot of non-biased election information other than name and the title that they're running for. They're not even really going to tell you much about what these people do, but they do very important things. It's a reason why people try to sit in these offices for 30 years. You know, and retire. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason. Most times you don't even never see a judge step down until he or she just ready
So
to
there's
go.
other roles though too. There's other positions we need to be concerned about.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? City directors.
city directors,
Yeah.
Judges.
Goldie.
Yeah, the
State-
commissioner of state lands or state lands commission, one of the two. But that's the person who's responsible when you don't pay your property tax. You got delinquent taxes on it. Are they gonna take it from you, or are they gonna work with you so you can get your taxes up? A lot of times we inherit property with taxes, and we don't be knowing that, like, you know, our parents or our grandparents didn't pay these taxes, and we get it, and we want to keep it, but then we got to cough up thousands of dollars. The commissioner of state lands is there to work that out with you. Now, if you got somebody, I endorse Goldie Gaines. She's somebody that's been in the community as in the church community, faith-based community, in the artist community, education, everything. So I'm gonna look at somebody like her, like she might be a little bit more understanding because she might have then went through some same struggles I went through. I'm gonna vote for her versus the person that's been in office for a whole long. I don't even know that dude's name.
Yeah.
I know he ain't never approached me about coming to talk to one of his events.
Yeah.
If he had, I don't remember.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I'm talking about the people I can reach out and touch. I
Yeah.
can call them.
Make a difference.
Exactly. Man, I don't endorse nobody unless I can pick up the phone and ask them why you do this, why you do that.
Yeah.
We ain't got to talk with a whole lot of
Somebody you can hold accountable.
somebody I can hold accountable.
Right.
So if I endorse them, I'm saying, you know, I'm gonna call you out when you do something wrong.
Yeah.
You can't pay me off, man.
Yeah.
I deal with the people. But I'm saying people like her, we should put them in them positions because, man, we be struggling out here just from the lack of knowledge.
And she'll keep us informed. She knows how to openly communicate with us. Like you said, she has experience dealing with us, you know, and the bridge is already built.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we're not voting or not participating, there's no bridge, there's no way for us to communicate with people who have no connection to our community.
And yeah, and like I told Nate last time I was over here, man, if you a small business owner and you don't think voting important, you tripping. Because if you got a business, man, you know these people are setting the regulations for your business. They are making sure you are paying the money and the taxes that you're paying. They represent your communities. If you got a small business, brick and mortar, or a food truck or anything, and you wondering why business ain't driving your direction, you know what I'm saying? Look at the community around. We talked about like sidewalks and stuff like that. But what about street lights? What about, you know what I'm saying, the other businesses around here? I've literally gone to City Hall meeting and watch white people go up there and protest and say, hey, I don't want this sharks coming in my community. We want another business that look better, that's going to come over there and actually benefit us more. So that's why they end up in all our areas a lot of the times. And ain't no disrespect to them, you know what I'm saying? If you like the food, you like the food. But I'm just saying, they protest when a business come over there that they don't want to food with.
They paint the community a certain way, like liquor stores. And,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Same thing. All of that stuff go through the city. You got to turn your application in to get a building, to get a business permit, all that type of stuff to the city for you to get that building. And so they pick which business is going to be around you, because if the city directors approve it, and that's going to be your neighbor. But if you don't like it, you can kick them out.
So we got city directors, land commissioners, judges we need to pay attention to. Is there anybody else we need to be trying to pay attention to who we vote for?
Well, we mentioned it already, but the mayor.
Mayor for sure.
We got to pay attention to the mayor.
Because the next mayor is going to pick your chief of police.
Yep.
The chief of police is a major position for the city, because that's who makes the determination on how we are policed. Mm-hmm. And so if you have to ask yourself, at this moment right now, the Fraternal Order of Police, which is the biggest gang in the world, right now has already come out and endorsed Steve Landers.
You said
the Fraternal Order of Police.
Pulaski County? Oh, the whole Fraternal Order of Police.
No, the Pulaski County, Arkansas.
Okay.
Fraternal
They
Order
came out
Police.
and endorsed Landers.
Yeah.
They did? They can do that?
They do it every election.
They every election.
They endorse the chief. I mean, they endorse the mayor, and they endorse judges.
So what if the person they endorse loses, then they stuck with the person that they didn't endorse?
They'll go in and fund the next one.
Yeah, they'll support the next person that run against them. But the thing about it is a lot of times they put the people that they always put the person in position that they're gonna look out for their best interests. If you got a mayor that's probably gonna be like, hold on, y'all need to stop locking up all these people for this petty stuff.
Right.
Hey, let's have more community programs. Y'all need to get out here in the community and vibe with the people, learn the people, talk to the people. They ain't messed up about that. They want to go lock up people, make money.
More overtime.
More overtime, more vehicles, all that type of stuff. They not worried about community policing. So whoever they endorse, believe they're going to be tough on crime. And anybody who say that we're going to be tough on crime, they just talking about we finna lock people up. They don't care.
So is that Landers' stance?
Yeah.
Tough on crime?
Landers' main position is we got to do something about crime. We got to. That's his main. If you listen to it, we gonna do something about crime.
He talk about gangs, drugs.
I seen the commercial. What did you post? He got shot at or something.
He always acting like he didn't witness more murders than anybody in the hood I know. I mean, his name got to be on paperwork somewhere, because he keep on talking about He talking about he saw somebody get murdered at a gas station. I'm like, man, where's your name at?
If he ain't in it,
yeah.
He caught a charge. I don't know if he caught a charge.
Nah, he ain't catching no charge.
But he left his gun
in a local restaurant.
He strapped up, huh?
Always in the
restaurant.
He's scared.
But imagine that's probably just the gun he got caught with leaving.
I mean, but that tough on crime stuff is real important, because there's a lot of people out here, and we're gonna get to this in a minute, like the legalization of marijuana issue. So it's a lot of people going to jail. It's a lot of judges and people putting people in jail for a long time or longer times than they need to be in jail. You know what I'm saying? So these people are definitely people that we should be considering who should be getting elected.
Yeah.
Everybody hit that share button for me right quick too.
Man, we got a lot of black people on the ballot too. And look, I'm not endorsing. I'm just telling you, because I know people always say all skin folk ain't kinfolk. But, you know what I'm saying, we got Senate, U.S. Senate. We got Natalie James running in Democrat.
State Senate.
State Senate.
U.S., I'm sorry, U.S.
I mean, yeah, well, U.S. Senate, and that is, Senator John Boozman. He been, he the incumbent, but we got a black woman from Little Rock that's out here in the community. Hey, you might want to give her a shot. You know what I'm saying? French Hill is on here running against Quintessa Hathaway, another black woman.
Oh, so it's 2 blacks running against
two black women.
What they running for?
Natalie James, U.S. Senate. Quintessa Hathaway is U.S. Congress District 2.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We got
Democratic ticket.
On the Democratic ticket. We got a black governor running from Little Rock, Chris Jones.
No, buddy.
Well, I'm saying he live around here.
Yeah, no, he live in Pine Bluff.
He want to take credit.
Okay, my
He
bad.
in Pine Bluff, dude,
He worked in Little Rock. My bad. That's what
That's it. He was still he Pine Bluff.
Chris
Okay.
Jones. I met him at Hood Nick and Dumas. He was down there campaigning.
He could be the first elected black governor.
Yeah, I ain't been seeing him too much. Seeing him do too much. I invited him to come to the Real Underground when we saw him at the Hood Nick.
Man, next time, man, let me know when you invite these people, man, because I'm gonna put pressure on them. I'm for real. Like if they don't want to come over here to this radio station, I feel like we should pressure them as the artist community. Because it's like you don't turn down, if you run for office, you don't turn down no interviews.
Man.
That's just the way I feel. The only way you turning them down is if you leaving the race.
And you don't not come to the Real Underground. You got to come.
You got to go to every community radio station, all that type of stuff.
Man, listen. So that was my thing. So, but it neither here nor there. But yeah, it is a black person running for governor. Who's the governor right now? Asa? What's his name?
Asa Hutchinson. His term is up. His term limits. He can't run no more.
Ready to run for president in 2024.
He gonna lose. But, you know what I'm saying, like Chris Jones actually, has a platform where he's talking about, he think marijuana should be legalized. He think a lot of things with the criminal justice system can be improved on. He is talking about representing the people more. He's a little bit more liberal and progressive minded.
What you think about what's before we get to the issues on the ballot? Any more other positions you want to touch on?
Man, honestly, you know what I'm saying, like I mentioned the commissioner of state lands, I need to pay attention to that, the mayor. But other than that, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to just say, we got some representation on here as far as black people, from Fred Love to Tar Shepard to Eric Higgins, the Diamond Arnold Johnson. All of these names I'm talking about, these are black people you can go look up.
What are their
Eric Higgins, he the sheriff right now. He the first black sheriff in Little Rock. He running for re-election against somebody I never heard of before. Y'all can go do your own due diligence. I'm just telling you, Eric Higgins is a black man. He running for office. That's an opportunity right there. Fred Love in District 15, which is close to Southwest or in part of Southwest. He running again. He run against a libertarian, so you can do your knowledge on that. And then you got Diamond Arnold Johnson running for auditor of state. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know everything that the auditor of state do, but I know it got to do with
unclaimed things of that nature.
Yeah.
So auditor of the state would definitely be something that we need to be mindful of, because when you come in and you pay your taxes and there's an audit that needs to be made, they're gonna review that. Anytime. Not taxes, any type of paperwork or any auditing that takes place, she's gonna be the person that says, okay, yeah, y'all good here. So she's gonna make sure the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed when you're turning in any type of paperwork and things like that from the state.
So that's pretty much it. What I would mention besides the issues. But all I'm going to say is I went to go vote. I did early vote, and I always suggest go early voting because you can walk up in any polling place in in Pulaski County and go vote. I didn't vote in Maumelle. I didn't vote in North Little Rock. I didn't vote in Southwest. I didn't vote in downtown because early vote make it real easy for you to do that. On election day, you got to go to your registered polling place where they send your card in the mail for you to vote. That's where you got to go. And all I say is I say that because I was in and out when I voted in about 6-7 minutes. It's not even if you know what you're gonna do when you get there. You know what I'm saying? It's a simple process. Just go and just make sure you got an ID. If you ain't got a license, you got a college ID. That'll work too. You know, so you got a military license. That'll work too.
Early voting, you have to do any process for early voting?
Nah, you
just go early.
Just go. As long as you registered, just go.
Damn, I could already win.
Yeah.
Can we tell the people how to find out your polling place?
Man, you go to the I had it pulled up. Secretary of State website. And then you just want to check your status. You check your registration status. All you got to know is your first name, last name, and your birthday. They're going to give you a sample ballot, and they're going to tell you where, based on your address, where your voting site is.
And if you can't do that, you can always call your courthouse, the local courthouse in your county, and ask the county clerk.
The county clerk.
And they can tell you where your polling place is.
Yep.
You might want to tell them your address, or if you know what ward you stay in, you can do that. But call your county clerk, go to their website. It's important.
But if you ain't registered, you have to register within 30 days.
At least a month out before the election. You can register all year round, but if you want to vote in that next election, make sure it's 30 days in advance.
But if I registered, like I registered last year, I don't have to register every year, right?
Nah. It's important to check. See, this is another thing, too. I'm glad you said that. You supposed to only have to register one time. But sometimes a lot of these Secretary of States, man, they purge the ballot if you ain't have voted in a long time. Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason why you would have to re-register to vote. It shouldn't be legal for them to do that, but they've been doing it at other places. But if you registered last year, you are still registered to vote.
So register one time, that should be a lifetime thing?
It should be a lifetime thing.
As long as you ain't moved or no shit like that.
When you move, you got to re-register. Yeah. When you get married and you change your last name, you got to register. If you convert faiths and you want to change your name, you got to re-register. Anytime your address or your name change, you got to re-register.
And can I add something to that? One of the major things that the conservative and the Republican Party has been doing is making it more challenging to vote.
Yeah.
So by making like he said, they're purging the registrations. So they're doing everything they can to alienate and keep you from voting. So it's important too. Yes, you only have to register once.
Still check.
It's still important to check your registration.
Because they'll turn you around.
And you in there like, I voted here last time. But again, because they want to minimize and keep you from voting.
And that's really just based on the people that they elect to office to do that type of stuff.
Right.
If you got somebody that want equal participation in voter turnout, they not purging no ballots. But in places where they know black people in particular, whatever you consider yourself, you know what I'm saying, if you're not white and you adamant about voting, they trying to take away your rights to vote, so they going to try to do whatever they can possible. That's why I say if you show up, you ain't got no license, show up with some type of form of identification. They gotta give you a ballot. They can't deny you a ballot if you registered and you got a form of identification. But if you got a military ID or you got a college ID, you can walk right up in there and do the. You don't need no provisional ballot or nothing. You could just go up in there and vote.
They doing so much to keep us from voting.
And man, we just
knowledge
is power though, man.
Yeah.
That's why we got to keep on, you know what I'm saying, educating people and putting the word out there. Yeah. Shout out to people like Osyrus. Shout out to the Real Underground and everybody else out here who, you know what I'm saying, informing people, because, you know, some people is just lazy and, you know what I'm saying.
Well, some people, a lot of us have just lost hope.
That too.
Yeah. I got to go to work tomorrow, and whether these folk, whoever in office, I'm still gonna be black, still gonna be poor, and they didn't lost hope.
You're exactly right, but we just gotta give them hope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, look. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say that voting gonna fix everything, but it's just one tool. Mm-hmm. It's just one tool. It's the reason why. The reason why I vote is because also what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go work with the kids in my community. I'm going to try to make sure that I'm in the process of talking to a bank right now that's talking about giving loans to people who hire people who've been formerly incarcerated. So to expand their business, what they want to do, go to these black businesses who are hiring people who are formerly incarcerated, who are working on reentry, but they need money for their business to grow with it. Because they got when the employee payroll increase, they're going to need money in the reserve to do that. So I'm talking to people like that in my community too, but I can't do that and be effective at it if they don't see that I'm a part of the community. I'm actually doing other things positive too. It's just like the bank won't give you a loan unless they see what the hell you're going to be doing with it in advance and what's your plan to do with it when you get more money. So you got to invest in your community in multiple different ways to get the productivity that you want to see.
And your vote is just one investment.
It's the easiest
the
thing.
easiest investment.
And you know, like
it's the easiest one.
I think I said this on NateLogic the last time we were on there. It's like having a flat tire, right? You got a flat tire. You got a couple of ways you can go about it. Voting would be, I'd say, voting would be the four-way lug that you need to take the lugs off the nut. Now, some of us want to say the tire would be unity. The jack might be another piece of the pie. If you don't have that four-way lug, you can't take that tire off, right? So, although you got a flat tire, you gotta have that four-way lug so you can
For sure. Change that flat.
Yeah.
And so voting ain't the end all be all for the fixing our community.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody hit that share button for me, man. We got one more issue or one more topic to touch on, which are the issues on the ballot. How many issues on the ballot?
We got 4 issues. And also, we got 4 issues, and then we got the millage that they put on our ballot, too. I missed that.
Where did that come from?
Man, it's always sneaking on there, man. But the millage is basically like voting to put some more tax money into the public schools. And if you feel like the schools need more money, you vote for it. If you feel like the schools got enough, they need to work with what they got, then don't vote for it. But the millage always sneak on there some type of way. I don't understand it. So.
Okay.
That show snuck on there.
Yeah, man.
We got 4 issues, and we know y'all been seeing us
4 issues.
Talk about issue 2 and issue 4. The issue 4 has been being the most biggest of them all, which is the legalizing of marijuana. Well, I'm gonna say cannabis, as they call it.
Cannabis.
Why they want to call it? They say weed, man, weed. Y'all, why y'all trying to cover it up and sugarcoat it, man? But yeah, weed. But third degree. If third degree is listening, somebody tag third degree Darren Johnson. He hit me in the inbox today. And he was adamant about, he had some questions about issue 4, because he was saying about, matter of fact, I'm going to pull up his message. While I pull up his message, go ahead and break down issue. Let's start with issue 4. So issue 4 is the marijuana, but there was some other things too there, like some pros and cons you was talking about.
Yeah. So issue 4 is the Arkansas Marijuana Legalization Amendment. And basically what that issue does is legalize marijuana, cannabis for adults 21 and up. You can have, it's legal for you to have at least an ounce on you.
Okay, so your zip, for y'all who don't, y'all know what that is, 28 grams.
Yeah, well, we some
Not that I know.
16.
We some mathematicians.
28, man.
Okay, I'm trying to.
You think about 16 ounces in a okay.
See that? You're doing too much over there, man.
But you know what I'm saying? So issue 4, we got a lot of people that's talking about that, and it's important that we become one of the first states to legalize marijuana.
The first. So what you mean?
States in the South, I'm sorry.
Okay.
First states in the South. We got them in all these other liberal places and these bigger.
It's not legal in Oklahoma?
I think. You know what?
They Midwest. They consider Midwest.
Yeah. They Midwest, but it is legal in Oklahoma.
Even recreational?
Yeah, they got a lot going on with the weed.
Yeah, I know people that go up there all the time, man.
They got like 1,200 dispensaries in Oklahoma City.
That's crazy. In the city?
In Oklahoma City,
1,200.
1,200.
Oklahoma
And my
City.
partner said it only costs $10,000 for like the licensing or whatever to open up a dispensary.
Okay, and see, this is where the pros and cons come in. He said it costs $10,000, right?
$10,000.
No wonder it's man. I know between us three, we can probably find $10,000 tonight
How much is it in Arkansas?
to apply for the application for a dispensary in Arkansas. You got to have 1.5 million in liquid assets,
Bro,
Proof of it.
they X'd out 99.9%.
Exactly. And so this law right here, we was hoping that it was going to make it easier for people to be growers and cultivators. From the language, and it really don't look like it. So it's legalizing for you to have an ounce, but as far as like the application process for dispensary or being a home grower or cultivator,
Nothing.
it's nothing really in there that's saying that like giving you rights to do that. It's not expunging people for past marijuana convictions. That's stopping people from getting jobs. That's holding people in the prison system. We feel like people should have that like immediately cleaned off their record.
And released. Well, what about they just talked about some? They were supposed to be releasing some people from jail for marijuana.
That's for the federal. That's federal.
That's federal stuff, and we don't know who that's going to even end up being. You know what I'm saying? That's something that the you know what I'm saying this presidential administration is working on. But on the state level, we could do a whole lot more to make issue 4 better.
So when they write these bills up, whoever wrote this bill up, like they don't purposely had to like be thinking along the lines of like
Expungement.
we gonna make this only beneficial enough so we can do whatever our next motive is with this bill.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Even though the only pro, even though I'm with it, because the only pro is like is people still in the future gonna get pulled over, and go to jail and have some type of record for weed, so it's gonna benefit that. It's gonna keep some new people out of jail, some new people from getting the record. But I just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, this is what he said. He said, if the law is passed, can never be changed. If they aren't clearing any past convictions, they aren't employing people. They aren't letting any new businesses bid for licenses. The extra surplus money goes to cancer research, police department. What is it he say?
Yeah. He read that mug.
He said they will be able to have a small amount. You'll be able to have a small amount for use, no personal growth. I was so looking forward. I thought it was gonna be like, we could have a couple of plants at the crib.
I mean, because in places like Colorado and Cali, Oklahoma, you can do that.
You can have some plants.
We gonna have one of the most restrictive recreational marijuana laws in the country. Probably the most. Just keeping it real.
Ride around with a blunt.
Huh?
Ride around with a blunt to smoke. Just for smoking now. Not for selling.
Now, I'm curious about that. And even
you gotta give it away.
So if you have you can't have your marijuana license and have a gun license either.
Nope.
So that's something to think about.
But this is the thing though. We don't even need gun licenses. I don't know. Like, so we is an open carry state, right?
Pretty much.
So what the fuck is the purpose of a gun license?
I've heard that.
Man, all I can tell you is you're correct. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if it's get approved, what the fuck is a marijuana license?
Well, if the marijuana license is,
you won't need one.
You won't need it on a medical marijuana side of things. You know what I'm saying? There's other benefits to having that as far as like going into the dispensaries and stuff like that.
But once it's approved, if it gets approved,
anybody can go in, right?
I would believe.
Yeah.
Unless you're over
21.
21, and that's another con of it. If you're under 21,
which it should be,
right? If you're under 21 and you get locked and you get caught with it,
it's still a crime.
Same penalty.
Same penalty. So when they monopolizing the game, black folks should have been thought about with this bill a little bit more.
All right. We wasn't at the table. Couldn't have been.
Nah, we weren't no community input from us. The youth should have been thought about a little bit more because they still gonna suffer the same type of penalties.
And they're gonna market.
They're gonna be the ones they still have get caught and have.
Oh yeah, because guess what? Because if they can't come in our community and lock us up for having an ounce or whatever, they gonna crack down on them schools. They gonna crack down on all the places that the youth hang out in. I'm just keeping it real, man. The police are in business to lock up people.
Right.
If we had a peaceful community
and there was no police,
man, it won't be no need for the police. They would have to manufacture crime.
Right.
So,
and that's policing is big business.
And so, like, if the youth get left out of it, then I'm like, man, why are we doing them like that? I know too many youth that come into adulthood with criminal justice debt because they done went through things in the juvenile justice system.
But the thing about it is, though, whether the law is passed or not, that they still gonna go to jail, yes or no. So it's like exactly. It really ain't no con to the shit not passing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause even if it don't pass or do pass, you still got people. It ain't no
Well, you know what I'm saying? If it's legalized here, that is going to be a big plus for people here in Arkansas. The reason why I say pros and cons is because a lot of people aren't voting for it based on the cons. And so you can eliminate these type of discussions. We could be sitting up here talking about rolling up something and how we going to have a good time after it passed tomorrow, but it's other things that need to be fixed. And that's why people are upset because of the medical marijuana. We seen how that got implemented here and how none of us could really get in the game. Mm-hmm. I had people that was excited. Mm-hmm. And then they seen the application fee and was like, man.
I was out here advocating for it, like petitions
Me
and
too.
stuff.
Me too. Me too.
Listen, make it so bad. I was on Chico. Got pulled over on Chico with a box of petitions in my truck by the police, and they kind of making fun like, "Oh, you got these petitions to have found a blunt in my truck and took me to jail and towed my truck."
Man.
They were kind of mad because I had the petitions. I was like, "Damn, that's kind of wicked right there."
Yeah, man. And so
I think the pros and the cons, as with anything, the dilemma here is we're not getting involved, and it's almost like they're completely ignoring us. And for instance, if we had the right people at the table,
but how do you get at these tables?
Yeah, that's the question,
man.
What do the tables start at?
Because we needed somebody at that table saying we need expungement added to this.
I reached out to him.
Expungement.
When you heard about this is they gonna do this.
I reached out to him.
To the people who was.
I reached out to the issue 4 people. I ain't getting no response.
No responses.
I had my friends that was personal friends with them. Say Osyrus reaching out like.
So do the issue? You call them the issue 4 people. Let's say we come up with an issue 5 people next time around. How do these people come together and go to the government and form an issue and get it on the ballot?
That leads you to the ballot issue number 2.
Well, yeah.
Really. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So like, if we want something on the ballot, all we got to have is a group that comes together that starts petitions. Now, I can do the research later and tell you how many signatures you need, but it's thousands of signatures that need to be taking place. So you got to have some money to pay people to go out there and canvass and collect these signatures, and you got to have some inspired volunteers too.
Okay.
And some money.
Issue 4 people got some money because they in marijuana businesses outside of the state too. Mm-hmm. So they already came in with the marijuana money and to know how to do that in Arkansas because they up in Illinois doing it. Mm-hmm. So, other places doing it basically. But so issue 2, that's stopping that's taking away power from us. Anytime we put a ballot initiative together, that's thousands of people signing signatures and thousands of hours of work. We voted stuff like when we increased the minimum wage a couple years ago, that won by 60-some% vote. But when we put in like casinos and stuff like that was like 50-some% of the people choosing casinos, whether you voted for it or not. And so what issue number 2 is, it make it harder because all you need to pass a ballot measure is 50% plus 1. Like when I told you my homeboy lost by 1 vote, that's what I'm talking about, that 1 vote. 50% plus 1. As long as you got over 49%, 50%, whatever, then you good. Issue number 2 would take that from being 50% plus 1 vote to 60%. So literally, let's say, hypothetically speaking, recreational marijuana don't pass tomorrow, but we put it back on the ballot next time around and issue 2 pass. Instead of it taking 50% of the vote, 41% of the people could say we don't want recreational marijuana next time, and then we don't have it.
Or better yet, I think to take it on home, minimum wage. I think minimum wage is a big issue to our community.
Yeah.
It took us from $7.25 an hour to $11.25.
Is that minimum wage now $11?
$11.25. Minimum wage in Arkansas, not everywhere.
Right, in Arkansas.
Yeah.
But how minimum wage affects the higher earners is if the lower earners have to make more, the higher earners have to make more. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of us hate to hear this. The rising tide lifts all boats. So that's what it was for that. So if we fail at issue number 2, something like minimum wage would fail.
So you saying, hold on, you saying only 40%?
If the main number is right now to pass a ballot measure, all you need is 50% of the voters plus one to pass something. It's gonna raise it up to have you're gonna have to have 60% of the voters
So
to pass anything.
So you're saying you need to have more people to approve of it, basically.
Yeah.
And they saying it should just be majority, which majority means 51.
51. But they want a super majority.
Super majority.
To make those decisions. And that's just going to make it tougher on us. This only...
To get shit approved.
This only on citizens-led initiatives.
So that's meaning petitions.
Petitions on us. This not affecting the mayor race. The mayor's still gonna win by 50% plus one. The governor's still gonna win by 50%.
But the other shit that y'all put together.
Yeah, 60%.
Oh, okay.
That's some bull right
I
there,
get it,
man. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not gonna change the rest of it's just gonna change one part of the ballot.
And they want to take power from the people.
And
that's literally what it does.
And who put this issue together? Issue number 2. The legislators did it. This one, the people that came up with this.
Hold on. Guess who backs it? Tom Cotton.
His name just sounds.
Tom Cotton. If you know who Tom Cotton is, Sarah Sanders Huckabee. All these right-wing conservatives are the ones who back this law because they seen that the people are using their power accordingly. So how can we take more power from the people?
Take less power. Make them have more power.
Make them less
Make them
power.
need more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
That's
you know.
smart. That's smart. Y'all thinking. Y'all thinking.
Not checkers.
Y'all thinking. Oh, that was smart.
And look, and they got all type of commercials and everything. I'm glad y'all playing the one telling them to vote against it because they got their commercials too.
Yeah.
And this what third degree was just saying today. He was saying like the powers that be, like it's right now war is being fought with information.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? And it's like the more people are waking up and the more people are getting information, they gonna fight against the information with more information or misinformation or wrong information. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
We get so in tune with what we think we know, and it could be wrong, but we so connected to it. Yeah. When you tell somebody, "Nah, that's not right," they get personally offended because they think you attacking them personally. No, you just wrong.
These legislators know exactly what they doing. They gonna try to take away the power of the people every opportunity they get because in order for the wealthy and the elite to stay in power, you got to keep on taking the power away from the everyday people. And so that's what it all boils down to, you know what I'm saying? So issue number 2, you got to vote against that, y'all, because we can make our own decisions and keep things like it is. If it ain't broke, you ain't got to fix it.
Yeah.
What was issue number 3? I don't remember.
Issue number 3 is the Arkansas Religious Freedom Amendment. Basically, in short, without getting real deep into it, it's basically giving you to do what you want, giving you the right to do what you want to do, and saying, I have freedom to do that because of my religion. So you can break the law
and say,
I did this because
whatever.
Because of my faith.
Hold up. You say is the law like that right now? They want to make it that.
They want to make it like that in Arkansas.
So if we vote for issue 3 and say I want issue 3, it gets approved. That means
you could be setting yourself up to get abused, basically.
So I can say I can go out here and commit a burglary. So I did it because I'm a Christian, or I did it because I'm a Jew.
I mean, it could get that. It could get that ridiculous. Basically, this came out of people during the pandemic who got mad and said the state can't tell me what to do. I can go to church as much as I want to right now. And the state was saying, man, y'all creating super spreader situations. You don't need no 2,000 people in no church right now. You're going to kill people off. Well, that was public health giving orders. And they was telling the churches shut down. And the churches had to do that. Now they
didn't like that.
Now the churches, people, these super Christians or whatever, are trying to put together stuff to do this. But it's not only going to affect church, it's going to affect businesses. It's going to let people who, like, say if I'm a doctor, I don't want to serve you because I find out you're a Muslim or you're a transgender or something like that. You don't align with my faith, therefore you don't get none of my services. What if it's a restaurant that decide to do that or a grocery store? They can basically use the state to burden the state with a religious freedom practice on every issue and every topic.
So
And church and state right now is separate, so you don't need to combine them.
So you saying, like, if I'm a doctor and I say I don't want to serve Nate because he is this or that,
And you use religion as the reason why, the rationale.
and he can't sue me because it's the law says I can.
He could probably still sue, but that's gonna be your whole fight with this issue.
And I mean,
because it's
just-
too vague. It ain't gonna
It's
tell you.
very vague.
It ain't gonna tell you what all you can and you can't do. The language in it just basically saying the same stuff over and over
And
again.
here's the scary part of that. Let's say I am morbidly obese, right? A doctor could say, well, because you're morbidly obese and you're living in sin,
Yeah.
I'm not going to serve you. You and your wife, or you and your girl not married. An apartment complex could come in and say, well, I'm not going to rent to you because you're shacking.
Yeah, stuff,
Things of that nature.
stuff like that. Man, you know we got Mormons and Church of Latter-day Saint folks. They say black skin is the mark of the beast. That means they evil and demonic.
So now they can.
they can.
It's-
We got a Mormon college out here.
They can't. We ain't got to accept nobody black.
We ain't got to.
But at the end of the day, even though that could be, I feel like if you own a business or whatever the case may be, and you don't want a certain type of people there, shit, don't go there if they don't want you there.
That sounds good in
Until-
theory until it's the only hospital in your area,
Yeah.
or until that's the only restaurant in your area.
Or it's the neighborhood school. Because, you know, a lot of these schools, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, we zone to go there. But then, you know, what if it's come down to a difference of religion between our house and what the school guidelines is? I don't want to say the Pledge of Allegiance or something like that, and they get to acting crazy with you, like you got to go. I don't pledge allegiance to no flag. That's not a part of my faith. But then they start throwing that stuff in there because it can go into every segue of our life.
If we vote yes on Amendment 3, we is saying we can let them run with this vague amendment that could just kind of like
the state majority right. I don't trust white folks to use their religion to do nothing helpful for us.
Because they've used their religion to kill us before.
Already, you know what I'm saying? They use the cross for hatred. They burn them and put them in front of our buildings. You know,
Not even 50 years ago.
You know what I'm saying? They have all type of rationale for why they do certain things, and so this is just so vague. It's the way it's set up right now. Everybody got the right to practice their religion. We don't need to burden the government.
Yeah.
We're using that in every decision of our lives.
so
Man.
vote no on issue 3. Last but not least, what's issue 1?
Issue 1, man, please vote no on issue 1, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Issue 1, basically, it's a long title to it, so I'm gonna just give you the short form of it. It basically gives legislators the right to go into special session whenever they vote on it. Right now, we got a General Assembly and legislative session that happens every 2 years. We going into one in January. That's the top of the year. That's when they do stuff like decide whether we're going to have stand your ground. That's when they decide whether we're going to have bills that protect our gun rights or any type of bill that's getting filed to go into law is happening during the legislative session every 2 years. The only person that can call a special session is the governor. And that's if it's like, you know, something pertaining to that's very important. It might be taxes.
COVID was the one.
COVID was a special session, all that type of stuff. Governor only one who could do that.
The last surplus.
Money surplus from COVID-19, that was a special session to determine how we was going to allocate that money. If the legislators decide to have a special session and they vote on it, we could have session all year long.
So you said right now only the governor can call the
that.
session.
A special session.
A special session. So if this law passes,
The legislators can do it on their
and
own.
who are the legislators?
Your state representatives and your state senators.
So they can get together and be like, hey man, let's call a session and
vote
vote on this whatever.
Yep.
Do the governor, is he involved in on like the votes?
Nope.
So
How many
basically,
legislators
they'll
is it?
surplus. They'll take power from the governor.
Yep. Basically, yeah. That's what they'll do on that decision. I can't tell you how many state senators represented. We got a whole bunch of them, but they majority Republican. And so this what could happen in a special session. if they could put a law out, they could put a bill out there and they'll say, hey, we want to ban the teaching of Black history in schools. Just hypothetically speaking, ban the teaching of Black history in schools because we don't need to be reminding white people of what happened. Yeah. And it could fail. All they could sit there and do is say, "Hey, we vote to have another special session. We want to rewrite that and try to pass again." They could do that all year long until it passes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do sometimes during the legislative session. Anyway, legislative session is from January usually to April, and then they take a break for the rest of the year until it's a special session for the most part. They could literally be professional legislators and be sitting up there all year long in session just because they voted to do that. And when they in session that long, something bad gonna happen. Because most of the time what they end up doing in those sessions is trying to rewrite something so it can pass and vote on it over and over and over again until people like just give up. It's wicked. It's wicked. I'm just telling you, I seen them do. That's how Stand Your Ground passed here. When people was mad about that, for 2 years they kept on bringing Stand Your Ground back. Anytime they voted it down, they said, hold on, we want to pull it. We want to rewrite it because she said that we need to put this in it. We need to put this in the bill to make it more easier for y'all to like what's going on. And they just voted on it over and over again until it eventually passed.
And just to give a little back history on Stand Your Ground, if you recall Senator Stephanie Flowers,
yeah,
she had it went viral.
It went viral.
It went viral with her saying, "You can't tell me how I'm a Black woman from Pine Bluff." Yeah. Stephanie Flowers,
the one who was up here on your show.
Nah, that's Vivian.
Oh,
that's her
Vivian.
auntie.
Okay.
Yeah, they related.
That's her auntie. But what they'll do is, to add on to what Osyrus is saying, is that they'll just keep going until they get it how they want it, until they get it passed. So imagine them telling the governor, "Hey man, we don't care what you talking about. We finna keep doing this."
But what if your governor is the asshole and it don't even matter then? He calling shit on his own.
Well, see what the thing about it is, the governor got so much stuff to do. They can't sit up in Little Rock all day long at the Capitol all day. You know what I'm saying? They got other stuff that's, you know what I'm saying, going on besides bills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they not gonna sit there. But they
got time.
The legislators got time. They get first off, all of them. Yeah, they got lobbyists who got millions and millions of dollars who gonna sit there and be like, man, keep on pushing it. The NRA got billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So anything pertaining to guns, they gonna sit them up there to do that. They get per diems every day. So if they driving for where you from, Holly Grove, if they driving for Holly Grove, they get gas and hotel rooms, all that type of stuff. Yeah. They can sit there and just use up all our tax money doing that type of stuff as well too. So it's really a waste of time and a waste of money just for them to do a couple things they want to do right. But they get a whole 4 to 5 months at the beginning of the year anyway, right when everybody started new in office. They work on that type. That's the stuff they work on the rest of the year. So like, issue 1 is just bad, man. You know, you don't want to see legislators at the Capitol year around. That's all day.
Think what type of legislators these guys are.
Yeah,
these guys are Senator Rappaport.
Rayford. Yeah.
Rayford, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
People like that who are ultra conservative, MAGA guys who are was for January 6th. People who really from what's the cities in northwest or northeast Arkansas? Some of these cities who really don't care about other people.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, we got some crazy legislators, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Who are far right conservatives.
Oh yeah. They come straight up out that good old boy system. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, look here, man. It's been a hell of some information, some news, tools, clues that y'all can use. So
let me add, we want to vote no for 1.
No for 2.
No for 3.
Yes for 4.
Yes for 4.
Hey, y'all broke it down so it ain't forever be broken. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So again, you know, we can't tell you how to vote. We can just give you a little game on what it'll affect and how things will affect us.
We gave y'all some names, you know what I'm saying? Some pretty good names. If you're unfamiliar with some names, we threw something out there. I'm gonna try to get Osyrus to text me them names if you can.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna make some posts about them. You feel what I'm saying?
Can I plug one thing real quick?
Go ahead, man.
Okay, so I just want to plug tomorrow night we have an election night watch party. Man, at Aphrodisia Studios over on Rodney Parent behind Arby's. We starting at 7 p.m. It's free to get in. We're going to have refreshments and beverages for everybody. We're going to be watching the election results, but we're going to be kicking the vibe and listening to music as well, too. We just encouraging people to go vote and come out there and kick it and party with us tomorrow night. And at the same time, we're trying to get information from everybody, just an email and a phone number if you want to give that. So we can stay up to speed on everything moving forward. And like D-Dirt said, you know what I'm saying, we working to give everybody this information to put it on a website next year. So we want to make sure we keeping in contact with people, letting them know, hey, next election, come to our website so you can answer all your questions
and
there.
Man, that's gonna be something, a major tool, not just from. It's gonna be thinking about from that point forward.
Yeah.
Do other states have shit like this, bro?
Yeah, we do. It's in other states, but like here, we don't really have no type of system set up. First off, we ain't really got too many black-led people that keep up with civic engagement enough to have a website. We got a few groups that do it, but they don't dedicate all their time to it. So we saying Little Rock Freedom Fund, this is what I'm talking about, Free Don Jeffrey.
Free Don.
We are going to do that for Pulaski County. So next year, 2023, when we have our website going, we have our advocacy group going, we're going to make sure that we keeping y'all up to date on all the voter education stuff, man, and voter registration information.
And, man, we going to see, man, can we put a play together where we can like have a whole network? We can do it for the whole state of Arkansas. Go on this damn on a website, an app, or some platform, man. You can see the candidates. You can see the background. Go to their Instagram and Twitter. Like, shit, man, we just need some information.
And then another part to that, we can't keep letting these candidates ignore us.
Already.
Like, we represent a major part of this community. They want to police us. They want to control us. We pay taxes like everybody else. The young African Americans in this community, we need y'all to pay us attention.
But we gotta demand that attention, and we got to start moving accordingly.
Yep, by voting.
That's one. That's part of our power.
We can't keep going in at 6, 7, 5% voting, and
we the majority of the population.
We the majority. We ain't making no decisions.
Man, last thing I say, Arkansas in the last major election, man, we ranked 50th nationwide. 50th, we were second to last, 50th. I know it's 50 states, but that's because they include the Washington, D.C. in the rankings too. So only state behind us was 51 was Oklahoma. So
in what?
In voting turnout, voter registration, all that. 50th, Arkansas as a whole. So it ain't just us black folks, it's the white folks too in the rural towns that don't want to vote either. They sitting back chilling too as well. We got to do better as a whole state because, man, 50th, come on, y'all.
50th.
We that disconnected, we that disengaged, and then we wonder why we 50th in education. We 50th in teen pregnancy. We 50th in unemployment. We like dead last in all the wrong stuff.
Involved in shit.
And then we first in all the wrong things.
We don't realize the power in the vote. We saying that voting don't matter. We've lost hope. But like he was saying, the resources that come with voting, the resources that we would have if we get involved, we can take those resources, use them to our benefit, educate our people, get more resources, get better, and so on and so on. And continue to build.
So, yeah.
But shit, so, man. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Dave McClellan, what's up with it, Mob? Third Degree. I talked about your points. I brought them up with the Honorable Osyrus Bolly.
Man,
Big Brother Bolly.
Big Brother Blacktivist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Big salute to Osyrus, man. Make sure y'all go follow Osyrus Bolly, man. Stay tapped in with him. He do music too, man, and do poetry and a lot of different things, man. So
real legend in the city, man.
Yeah, man. So tap in with Bolly.
man.
For shit show now, man. We all one play away, man. So y'all go tap in with him. Teresa Ellis, Mama Goowop, everybody who was tapped in, Candace Meadows. We gonna rerun this again. Noah Payne, what's up? We gonna run this again tomorrow morning.
One of the dopest DJs in the state.
We gonna probably take some snippets out of here. But tomorrow, what time is the last time to vote?
Oh, the polls is gonna close tomorrow at 7:30. Don't go up there at 7:30. Get in. They gonna close the doors at 7:30. Gonna lock them. So make sure you in line before then. But man, you got all day long to go do that. So just go handle your business, man. I promise you, man. You'll feel better about at least getting your voice heard through the vote. You know.
And man, look, man, we gave y'all an hour's worth of information, man. Some valuable. We summed everything up for y'all. I think we did pretty good in 60 minutes. We summed up, can felons vote, the early voting process, how to vote, where to vote, register to vote. Went over issue 1 through 4. We went over the positions and the importance of the positions. We went over the candidates and more.
Shout out Andrea Lewis.
Already.
Hey, man, salute to everybody, man. We up.